350 games tonight, congratulations. Take us back to the 18-year-old captain, the Crocodiles, mate. What's the ride been like for you? And, obviously not the result you're after tonight, but just talk us through the journey.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to reflect right now after the game, but for me, yeah, it's kind of always been about proving myself right and not others wrong. So, yeah, just try and work hard. Every time I step on the floor, I think this job that I have right now is the best job in the world. I tried to flip burgers at Macca's once for a promo with Townsville, and I was terrible at it. So I thought I'd better work really hard at basketball.
And how are you enjoying, captaining the boys this season? Obviously, not the results tonight, but there's the work-ons you obviously feel like you can get a quick fix and go again next week.
Yeah, for sure. I think, that game tonight has proved that we can play alongside some of the top dogs in this league, and, there's definitely areas that we can work on and have kind of been a common trait throughout this season, but at the same time, it's fixable, which is the positive sign.
Yeah, Justin, we've spoken about the Bullets wanting to be that team that prides themselves on the defensive end, but tonight, 85 points by the third quarter, that's probably a score you got to keep it to after 4. So can you just talk about the lapses there and keeping their sharpshooters sort of open at some points even?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the first half, the frustration was that it was second chance points. The gifts that we sort of felt we gave them. Rob and Chris both get off, seeing 3 balls go down off an offensive rebound, and they're the controllables that we can have. And to be in the game at that point, to Nordo's point there, like it felt for 2.5, almost 3 quarters, we were matching it pound for pound. And for us to put up 103 points against that defense is a positive on that end of the floor, but 100% we don't want to give up 120. But the way they shot the ball late, we're trying to junk things up to claw it back, but it's those initial breakdowns in that first half that we'll really go and look at and be frustrated with.
How frustrating does it get as a coach to see, Goulding and Lowe had the first 10 threes that they'd made just between those two there, and it was all just the lapses on the offensive rebounds. Is that something you can change at training, or is that just them hitting him tonight and that's a pretty easy fix?
No, we have to change it. Otherwise we're going to keep taking losses that we are frustrated on, and every loss we've taken so far this year, there's been the 3-point game that's frustrated us. So it's something we have to change and be better with. But at the same time, we're not a finished product yet, and we've said that a few times, that we see continual growth, and we need more games so we can find our rhythm. And that's what our group needs right now. Is we get a double-header weekend next weekend, which we can't wait for, and continue to challenge ahead of us. And right now we miss our quarter target by 1 win. We reset that now, and we go get into this next quarter of the season for us. And we catch one up, we're right where we need to be by the midpoint. So that's where our mindsets go. There's so much growth for us. We know our good's good enough, but we definitely need to reduce the gaps in our play.
Yeah, Nordo, on that point of the quarter point of the season here, do you feel like it might be too early to decide, but do you feel like you're a bit underdone with how many games you have? 8 games by now. Some other teams have like 11 or 12. Do you think that's a positive for you guys or a negative?
I think it's hard to find a rhythm out there when you're playing kind of 1 a week. You could come off a really good win, you just want to play again straight away, and you got to sit there and wait 10 days. So, but again, that's all out of our control. We can just focus on what's next.
So you must be very keen for 2 in a row, a double header.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what we do as professionals. We want to play basketball. We want to play games in good, fun environments, and that's what Tassie is, and that's our next one.
Yeah. All good for me.
You're on, Chris.
Justin, how would you sum up what happened in the last 3 minutes? Did you know what was happening once the power went out, and what happened over the next half an hour?
Very random sort of thing to occur. I think, the officials in the building were doing a great job to keep us up to speed with what was going on. The challenge was probably not anyone really knew. So, we had visions of us being able to have the greatest comeback ever, and it didn't quite play out that way for Nordo's 350. But, again, Nordo just mentioned about controlling what we can control. That's all we could do in that moment. We had to get frantic and desperate in that moment, and the margin still kind of stayed the same. So didn't achieve what we wanted in that patch, but just another one that we'll remember when we're all said and done.
How's Bear? It didn't look great at the time. Do you you have any idea at the moment?
No, relieved that, like I thought it might have been worse than what it is. It's just definitely a rolled ankle at this stage. How long he's out for, we're not quite sure. Too early to tell on that. But yeah, relieved for him that it was that. He was having a great impact in the game at that moment. And yeah, just very unfortunate for us, the timing of that one. But like he's an absolute pro. I know that he'll be doing everything right already to make sure he's available as soon as possible.
Obviously, giving up the 120 points is something you're not going to be happy with, but did you like what you were able to do at the offensive end? I mean, you got over 100 points. All three imports had their moments, especially Keandre. He did catch fire there at times, and Casey had his moments. Did you like what you were able to do against their defense at the offensive end?
Yeah, I guess the 120 I think is always a little skewed when you're trying to speed up the game, and we had to gamble a bit to try and get back. The thing I'll look at is where we were at that 2.5 quarter mark, and I feel like we were right there and where we needed to be. It was just moments where we had 6 possessions in a row there where we just came up empty, and that's the thing we've got to fix, because that's where a team like Melbourne's good enough to push that scoreline out. They shot the 3-ball remarkably well, and yes, it's something we identified we needed to take care of, and that's what we'll put into review. Like we said about second chance points and how we wanted to attack them, did we do it often enough? When we got to what we wanted to, we were able to convert the way we definitely had envisaged. So, that's a step forward and a growth for us in understanding that, we do have advantages on the floor. We just got to find ways to nullify theirs more.
No, this is always going to be a memorable night for a lot of reasons. The way the last 3 minutes went, it ended up lasting about 45 minutes. It's probably not the way you thought you would remember it, but you won't forget it at least.
Yeah, for sure. I really got to soak it up for an extra half an hour or whatever it was. But yeah, obviously not the way you want it to go. But at the end of the day, it's a game of basketball, and there's no I in team, so it's not really about me specifically. So yeah, just a little frustrated with the result, but at the same time, proud of the boys and how we can compete in this league. And I think as long as we believe that, we'll be in a good spot.
The mustache might not be coming in just yet, but at least you've got another battle wound.
Yeah, no, the mustache is getting there very slowly. I thought it would be coming along a lot quicker than what it is, but it is there, I swear. It's just you can't see it from distance.
You got a battle wound though. It wouldn't be the same unless you had a bit of a cut or a bruise to your nose, would it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my modelling career went out the door ages ago.
Justin, you touched on it before. Are you glad to now have 2 games to prepare for next weekend? You've played 8 games in 8 weeks now. Finally, you've got 2 games next week to prepare for. Is that going to be when you'll learn a lot more about your team once you can get in a bit more of a rhythm?
Yeah, for sure. We've had some really good practice weeks, and then there's been weeks that have definitely been too long, and we're just itching for the game to come around. And where our best learning's going to come now, I feel, is not playing ourselves, it's playing other teams and getting battle tested in the league. And so that's where I'm excited that the games will come a little quicker now. But the reality is we're not looking past Tassie. Can't wait to get off this to go watch the end of that game to start preparing. That's where our mindset has to go first, because our first challenge is try and get back to 500. And once we do that, then we can start thinking about climbing, and we can't get near that unless we take care of Tassie next week.
Just lastly, would you expect Deng to be available for next weekend?
Yeah, really hope so. Was always kind of, this game was the one we'd circled. Just wasn't quite at the strength point we needed him to be. So, being able to integrate him. Obviously, Emmett, we chose to not play tonight as he only just got to us this week. But another week of practice with him, he'll be able to be integrated as well. So, for the first time this year, we'll be, touch wood, as whole as we can be, planning on being there as well. So, that's an exciting thing for our group, that we can continue to really role define and get as much as we can out of the group, 1 through 12.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.